So I was going to make a video on Clav being arrested, but then I found out that it was because he tried using a fake ID and had one Adderall on him. What are you, 15, you fucking dork? And same goes for the guy who gave him the pill. Oh, I gotta look cool for the stream. If you don't think this pussy told the police exactly who gave him that pill, then you must have forgot how he acts under pressure. Dude almost killed someone because they had a phone in their hand. Imagine when this loser's freedom's at risk. Let's just hope you didn't tell him your full name like a dumbass. But after I got home from watching the Super Bowl, I see that after Clav was released from jail, he tweeted out, getting a $25,000 bond and 2 felony charges for being inside a bar is insane. Straight up political prosecution. What the fuck are you talking about, D-word? What the hell do politics have to do with any of this? You had drugs and a fake ID on you. What about either of those two things do you think made the cops go, wait a second? Who did you vote for? And there's only one right answer. Like, only a dumbass who purposely makes themselves infertile to turn down women would think that this is anything other than a dumbass getting arrested because of their dumbass decisions. Like, I get that streamers have a warped view on reality, but even a crackhead would know why they're getting arrested. They're not like, I'm a prisoner of war, this goes against the Geneva Convention. Calm down, Cracky. You had enough crack residue on your lips for us to charge you. Right now, we're trying to arrest someone because of their political beliefs, so if you can go smoke your crack over there, that'd be perfect. Thank you. But of course, an entitled piece of shit like himself would obviously think he did nothing wrong because he thinks that he's actually good looking enough to get special treatment. Judging by the way your eyes are looking in this mugshot, you might just be special and need to be in some kind of treatment center. But seeing Clav complain about something so cliche that an entire movie was based off the idea,
why the fuck would it be between that or Muhammad?
I thought, why not start a new series on this channel called Crybaby of the Month, where just like the name says, we find the biggest crybabies this month has to offer. I will let you know right now that this will not be an every month thing, but just know when you see the Crybaby of the Month and you're recommended, it's time. And for today's video, we have the first ever inaugural threesome. That's right, we're tri-tipping like a fucking peace sign, dog. 3 dudes with their fucking dicks touching. But if you guys haven't seen, Jake Paul is now hanging out with the vice president, whereas before you would just see him take a picture with Trump and stuff like that. But now he is sitting in between JD Vance and his wife instead of to the left of him like a normal person talking to a married couple. But this is nothing new. Some of you guys might not remember, but a couple years ago, Jake was endorsing this Beavis and Butthead looking character when he was trying to run for president solely because he was from Ohio. Which I get, rooting for the hometown guy and whatnot, but I mean Ben Shapiro was born in the city next to where I grew up, but I'm not gonna agree with anything he says just because we're from the same area. Fuck Ben Shapiro. But as you guys have heard by now, Donald Trump and everyone who supports him has been angered at the fact that Bad Bunny has been chosen to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show, which, as you guys know, happened just yesterday. And look, whether or not you like his music, complaining about who performs at halftime is gayer than being gay. Who the fuck cares who performs for all of 15 minutes? You do realize there's still more football to watch after that, right? But no, you're worried about not understanding someone who you don't even have to watch in the middle of a football game. It's not like who they have perform determines the outcome of the game. It's a fraction of a concert used to fill time. That's it. If you want to use that performance to spread awareness about an ongoing issue, then let them. If you're not a part of that issue, then just ignore it. But that's the thing, with everything happening in America right now, people on the right side of politics are taking this as an insult, which is just an admittance of guilt to anything and everything you think Bad Bunny is bringing awareness to. But after realizing that there is literally nothing any of them can do to get people to not watch the Super Bowl halftime show other than putting on their own halftime show, they just start tweeting, purposely turning off the halftime show. Let's rally together and show big corporations they can't just do whatever they want without consequences, which equals viewership to them. You are their benefit. Realize you have power. Turn off the halftime. A fake American citizen performing who publicly hates America? I cannot support that. The guy who lives, trains, and is in Puerto Rico so much that articles refer to it as his second home is mad that a Puerto Rican is performing at halftime? You can't make this shit up. This dumb bitch who lives in Puerto Rico to avoid paying taxes is calling someone else a fake American. Dog, Bad Bunny even lives in a place that's technically more American than where you live. What the actual fuck are you talking about? There are videos of this guy waving the Puerto Rican flag in support of this boxer that's from there. But if you actually look at where he lives, it makes sense that he still has this I'm a real American. I am a real American. Fight for the right. mentality. He has like that mentality still. So I found this video where this reporter shows us what a day in the life of Jake Paul is like. And it starts out like, oh yeah, I train a lot and here's my gym and here are my workouts. And then after they show off his neighborhood, and it's literally just a giant gated community for rich white people to live in, located in the center of Puerto Rico. Like as he's driving around on his little golf cart, you see these giant houses, private lakes. They even have the random white people sculpture in the middle of their park. I think I even saw a little white kid riding a scooter, and it's like, yeah, you live in the part of Puerto Rico that no native Puerto Rican would ever be able to afford to live in because they made it that way. None of his neighbors are actually from there. That's why he thinks Bad Bunny is a fake American. He's like, you look nothing like my neighbors. But after everyone, including his brother, called him out for what he said, he's like, guys, I didn't mean that. What I meant to say was, the problem with my tweet is the word fake being misinterpreted. He's not a fake citizen, obviously, because he's Puerto Rican. I love Puerto Rico and all Americans who support the country. More so, Bunny is fake because of his values and criticism of our great country. And then because that was the dumbest explanation anyone could ever give, he's actually like, guys, I didn't mean that. What I meant to say was, to clarify, I wasn't calling anyone a fake citizen because they're from Puerto Rico. I live in Puerto Rico and I love Puerto Rico. I have used my platform to support Puerto Rico time and time again and will always do so. But if you're publicly criticizing ICE, who are doing their job and openly hating America, I'm going to speak on it. Period. That's the reason I called out Hunter Hess. If you benefit from a country and the platform it gives you, but publicly disrespect it at the same time, that's what I mean by being a fake citizen. And I agree, love is more powerful than hate. Love America. And then right after that, he's like, guys, I love Bad Bunny. I don't know what happened on my Twitter last night. What the F? What the fuck do you mean, what the fuck? Dude realized that he just talked shit about someone who is 1,000,000 times more popular than him in Puerto Rico and doesn't want to have to hire any extra security when he goes home. That's how you know deep down Jake Paul is a pussy and will always be a pussy. He will never stand on what he says because he's scared of the consequences. Like even when he tries to clarify what he says, he quotes fake citizen. Nah, you said fake American citizen, you big pussy. Don't try and change it now. But even then, what the fuck did ICE have to do with any of this? I think Green Day made an actual comment about ICE during their performance, but did Jake say anything about them? No, because they're white. And then to pair up one crybaby with another, we got Donald Trump's tweet talking about the halftime show where he says, the Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible. One of the worst ever. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA. The guy who's best friends with Epstein is worried about what children are watching? Alright buddy, you can sit this one out. Moving on from the gruesome twosome, we have someone who you're all familiar with, and that is Jack Doherty, who apparently over the weekend was offering people $100 to yell jackass when a golfer is taking their swing at this PGA tournament. And I mean, obviously he's going to pay someone to do this because Jack is the first ever man to be born with a pussy and will never do anything that will get him in even the slightest amount of trouble himself.
Will any of you guys yell jackass on his backswing for $100?
What do I gotta yell?
Just jackass or some shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm happy to yell more shit. I'm so excited.
Jackass! That's $100.
After this, he was obviously kicked out and then got mad when they wouldn't let him back in and tried to walk away being like, I don't care about stupid golf. Golf is stupid. I don't care about golf. I don't care if they're not letting me back in.
All right, guys, I just got banned from all PGA Tour events because of that guy and all these cops right here. All right, I don't give a f that I can't go to a boring golfing event for the rest of my life.
Only he did care because this is what he said right after that.
All right, this is for everyone hating on me for getting banned from all PGA Tours and the waste management event and stuff. I honestly think that was the most harmless prank I could have done. And I think if anyone else did it, you guys would have thought it was funny. But I get it. You know, it was me, whatever. You guys do your thing. But second of all, I don't think you guys could possibly be softer these days. Like, what does this world come to? Everybody is so soft. And, yeah, saying jackass on a golfer's backswing is, like, all of a sudden the worst thing you could possibly do. You guys act like I murdered someone. Like, grow up. You guys are the softest generation ever. Like, that was the most harmless shit ever, and I didn't even do it. I paid someone $100 to do it. Go get the guy who fucking did it. I wouldn't do it. He did. I just gave him $100. Like, cry about it. Like, you guys are actually soft as fuck. Anyone that gets mad about that, softest motherfucker ever. Get off the internet.
You can tell he wants to cry about this so bad because he genuinely thinks people are hating on him for no reason. But not even that. Does he think paying someone to do something automatically makes him innocent because he didn't actually do what he paid them to do? Does he not realize that's how most criminals do their business? Yeah, officer, I just paid the guy to kill her, but come on, you're gonna go after me? You're not gonna go after the guy who actually killed her? You're not gonna go after the guy who did it? Typical police, you know, ACAB, am I right, fellas? Like, for him to call anyone soft because he knows if he goes anywhere without his security, he'll get beat the fuck up is hilarious. Jack Doherty has to live his life in constant fear that someone is going to hurt him, which must be exhausting, even if you have a security guard, because sooner or later, with the way Jack acts, it's not going to matter how big a security guard is. Now, I know I said I'll only be going over 3 people in this video, but since this is the first one in the series, I'll hit you with a 4th, baby. So Sneeko is apparently still complaining about the backlash he is getting from when he played Kanye's Hitler song in the club. Like, I've never seen someone who acts like they don't care about what happens to them cry about what's happening to them.
If you get out of line, we're gonna take everything from you. Take your livelihood, take your paycheck, take your credibility, take your reputation, separate you from everybody, isolate you from your friends, your family. They want completely ruined. Threaten to sue you, take your bank account, treat you like a criminal. And even then, like, I want to go travel for Ramadan, but I really don't know if I'm going to be able to. I see people like saying that they want me to stream with Muhammad Hijab and stuff and go to London, go to Saudi. I always travel during Ramadan for the past several years. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that because I heard that I won't be able to come back into the country. And I haven't even committed a crime. Isn't that insane? So what can I do? Like, right now I can't travel, can't go to the club, can't go to certain restaurants. I can't post on so many social medias, banned everywhere. But look at it, all the things that I can't do while never committing a crime.
Yeah, no shit, you didn't commit a crime. No one said you did. How does someone who cares so much about free speech for all the wrong reasons not understand that freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences? Yeah, sure, you can scream the N-word at an NAACP event, but what happens after that isn't protected by the First Amendment. Like throwing up a Nazi salute while playing a song that glorifies Hitler in a crowded club that's owned by a Jewish person and then thinking you're not going to get in any trouble is actually dumber than being born without a fucking brain. Like, everyone I just talked about, excluding Trump, did something that made them look like a piece of shit, and they're like, guys, are we really getting mad at this?
You need to leave.
Snowflakes! But yeah, guys, these are the official crybabies of the month. I'll say for January, even though everything happened in the first week of February. But guess what? I make the rules, so I say it's January. Until tomorrow or the next day. Peace.